You know that thing you do at your desk where you're staring at your computer screen, but you're not actually doing anything? You're gone. You're wondering, if I left at lunch and didn't come back, would anyone even notice? And then someone walks by your desk and you snap back to attention. Yeah, that was me until I got laid off on Valentine's Day. And my first thought wasn't, oh no, it was, oh, thank God. If you're watching this right now instead of working, I see you. You're probably waiting for someone to give you the permission to say that it's okay to want out. So here it is. That fear that's keeping you stuck, it's not protecting you. It's totally lying to you. And I'm here today to tell you what it's lying about. Let me tell you about my own parking lot moment. For about 6 months or so from before I got laid off, I had this ritual. I would crack open my laptop. I worked hybrid, and I would have myself a little pep talk. I would say, just one more year. Just until we have a little bit more saved. Just until all the kids moved out. It was always just until, but really, that just until is a prison that I was putting myself in. And I have talked to so many women in different companies, different industries, all with that same just until prison. The ones who have made it out, they didn't have any different fears. It was exactly the same types of fears. They weren't braver, they weren't stronger, nothing like that. It was that they were learning to read their fear differently. They made friends with it. So here what changes everything about fear. You just don't understand the language that it's telling you. It sounds like some foreign crazy language that you get really nervous about because you just don't understand it. But really, it's like a check engine light. It's not telling you to stop. Like a check engine light, you see that and you're gonna freak out and you're gonna pull over on the side of the road and think your car is just gonna blow up on you, right? But a check engine light could also mean you just went and got gas and your little cap thing, it just needs to be tightened a little bit more. We just have to know how to think about our fear differently. So I am going to show you the 3 fears that are running your life. So if you are here for that, please, if you wouldn't mind, give that like a little tickle so that more women can hear this message as well. So the reason that you hate your job and you can't get out, it's not because you're weak. It's not because you're ungrateful or even that you're not smart enough to figure it out. It's none of that. It's that you're not seeing the reality. You're playing into all of the stories that your brain is telling you. I think of it like the 9 of Swords card, where we're up at night and we're worried about all of these things. We're worried about the monsters under our bed, when really there are no monsters. We just need someone to come in and say, hey baby, it's okay. Look, see, there's nothing under there. So that is what I'm gonna do for you today. There are no monsters under your bed. So we have fear number 1. What if I can't make enough money? I know, we're gonna start off with a banger, right? For me, growing up as a poor kid in a highly judgmental religious community, that was brutal. I was the poor kid who people made fun of and embarrassed to go secondhand shopping. But also this fear of not having enough money, it sounds legitimate, right? We have responsibilities, we have a mortgage, we have kids, we can't just throw it all away. And you're absolutely right, we can't. And here's where your brain is lying to you. It's not telling you to stay, it's telling you to have a number. Again, we go back to this anxiety in our head and how we build all of these things in our head. So the real question, can I afford to leave, is not the right question to be asking. The actual question we should be asking is, what is my freedom number? What is the actual monthly amount that I will need to bring home so that I can replace my income? And think about not just all your income, a one for one. Think about your actual monthly income minus all of the extra expenses. Here's what blows most women's minds. When you actually do the math on what you no longer need anymore, you're not going to be spending $300 to $500 a month on new clothes, dry cleaning, fixing, hemming for us short gals. None of that. You're not going to have to worry about a long commute, gas, wear and tear on your car, oil changes, hell, maybe even not a car at all. And definitely all of the stress spending late at night on Amazon or your lunch break at Target, we can eliminate all of that. As well as for some people, childcare. That is a massive, massive savings right there. These are all the things that you don't actually need to replace. So if you're making, say, $80,000 a year and you think, I need to replace $80,000. No, maybe that's different. Maybe you actually need maybe $50,000 to $62,000. You don't need a one-for-one replacement, and that changes everything about what is possible. Here's what I teach. First, find your freedom number. This is minus all of those extra things, the actual amount that you would need each month. And then you start to build your freedom fund. So you take that amount and you multiply it by 6, 9, 12 months, however much you need to feel safe. And this is definitely a discussion to have with your partner so that they are on the same page as well. And then you figure out each month how much you can save towards that big freedom fund goal. And that then is your timeline. It doesn't become this someday maybe I can quit. It's math. Just plain simple math. And math does not lie. Math does not have feelings, thankfully. So fear one is not telling you to stay. It's telling you to stop guessing, to be strategic, to have your number. Fear number 2. What if I fail and everyone sees? I know this is another massive one, right? You just pulled up LinkedIn, excuse me, and Jessica from college posted about her new VP position she's super excited about. And you're thinking, oh God, I'm thinking about starting over. Oh no, what is my mom gonna think? What are my friends gonna think? Well, if I leave, I call her Corporate Carol. What is Corporate Carol gonna say? And I'm not gonna be there to defend myself. It's not about them. What this fear is actually about is that you're asking yourself, what will I think of myself if I try and it doesn't work out? Can I tell you something embarrassing? This fear was at the heart of my 14 plus business failures. It was easier to succeed at something that I was miserable with rather than failing at something else so publicly. But this might sound harsh, and what I had to figure out, the people who are judging you and your exit and putting your cringy content online, they aren't the ones sitting in their car in those parking lot moments. They aren't the ones crying on the drive home or missing bedtime, or 7 years later, she still reminds me, I missed one of her school performances. Please, if you have a story like that, comment below so that I won't feel so lonely, because she still 7 years later reminds me about the one time that I missed her performance. But they're not the ones who, people judging you are not the ones who are sitting at your dinner table where you're physically there, but emotionally you are just completely gone. They're not you. And the people who love you, the people who really matter in your life, they don't want you to be miserable. They don't. So, I know as hard as it is, you have to shut those people out who are judging you. Here's the truth about judgment. When someone judges your decision, they're not actually talking about you. They're talking about themselves and their fear of regret, their fear of taking a risk, the terror that if you do this and succeed, then they have to face the mirror that they can do it also. And if you fail, first of all, what does failure even mean? That you learn something? Welcome to entrepreneurship and really to life where anybody who's done anything worth doing, at some point they have quote unquote failed. The only real failure that I see is staying somewhere that is slowly killing you just so that you can make other people comfortable. So, fear 2. It isn't telling you to stay. It's telling you to get really clear about whose opinion matters and stop letting those people who are not living your life make your decisions. Okay, now we have fear number 3. What if I don't know what to do next? I know this one sounds very reasonable and you're like, Shannon, what business would I even start? I'm not good at anything. I have absolutely no idea. I am just blank. What would I don't know what to do. And it sounds great on its face, but really it's just perfectionism wearing a very dangerous suit. Here's what you're doing right now. You're standing at the bottom of a dark staircase and you're saying, hey Shannon, I can't take the next step because I can't see what's at the top. But that's not how stairs work. You take one step and then the next step and then the next step. There's 2 paths. Path 1, you can think some more, you can research, you can go trauma dump onto ChatGPT, take a quiz, overthink, research more and more and more, and you're still stuck. Or path number 2 is you can think about something, you can test it small, learn, adjust, and take another step. That is how we find clarity. Clarity doesn't come in this massive moment. Clarity comes from taking little tiny steps, little tiny steps, little tiny steps. When our kids were teenagers, they would get freaked out because everyone's talking about college and what are you going to be when you grow up? And we've always told them, you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to know what's next. That's it. What's next? And you do that next, and then you figure out what's next, and you figure out what's next. That is what this is. Clarity comes from doing the thing, not from sitting here and thinking about it. I know we spend all of our time out there looking and looking and looking, but really, our business idea, the one that would be so fantastic and work for us, it's already inside of you. It's in the frustrations that you have, that thing at work that you're like, oh my God, if somebody would just fix this. Well, guess what? You could be that somebody. It's in the requests that people have of you. What do people ask for your help with? What does that friend always come to you for? Your family, what do they always come to you and ask your advice on? What meetings do you keep getting pulled into at work because they value your opinion? And the things that come easy to you, those don't always come easy to everybody else. People would pay you to do those things. So think about what are your frustrations that you have? What are the things that people constantly come to you for? And what are the things that come really easy to you that don't necessarily come easy to somebody else? Your $1 million business idea could be somewhere in all of that. But the point is about fear number 3, it's not telling you to wait until you have it all figured out. It's telling you to start small, do something, and iterate, and then do it something, iterate, and keep making those steps. It's in action. It's not in some meditation or going on this weekend retreat. It's in the doing. So now that you know what the 3 main fears are, here is what to do about it, because I am a woman of action. I don't like to just sit around and think about it. If you could take away anything at all from this entire video, it is this particular slide. Your bridge from being trapped to being free. There's only 3 things on it. 3. That's it. So first, name your number. Remember that slide about your freedom number, your freedom fund, your timeline? What is the number that you actually need, and how much money can you save every month towards having your fund for that number? Second is finding people. We need support. Is there a Facebook group that you can join of like-minded people? Could you perhaps find people at work? Maybe there's people who are on the same journey as you are at work, wanting to do something different. Could you make a little pod that you meet once a week? Make sure to also talk to your partner. Having their support is important as well. And then lastly, discover your direction. Where is that starting point? Remember, we're not making this massive business plan. We're just starting with one step. We're going to hypothesize, well, what if I tried this idea? And then we're going to go and do it. These 3 steps, that is it. We're not going to overthink it. We're not going to be perfectionists. Hello, recovering perfectionist and overthinker over here. If you are an overthinker and a perfectionist, please let me know in the comments. It's been a journey to deal with. But let me be the first to tell you, simple, 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 simple does it every single time. Okay, real talk for a second. I wish I had stopped asking myself, should I quit? Because asking yourself that question leads you down to crazy town. You're Googling business ideas, you're Googling signs at work, should I quit? You're trauma dumping onto ChatGPT, you're taking another quiz about the perfect career path for you. No. The real question should be, what needs to be true before I can? And this is the question that will change everything for you. It's more of you architecting your future. You're not a victim in this situation. You're doing something about it, and doing is so empowering. I want it for every single woman on this planet. You know, I think about this a lot as somebody who is working hard to change the family cycle for my own 4 kids. Every day that we stay in survival mode, every day that we show them having a steady paycheck is more important than our own joy, we're teaching them something. And I don't know about you. I want to give my kids a world. I want my kids to have joy and happiness in life. It would break my soul if my kids hated their life every single day. Staying in a place that doesn't allow us to thrive, doesn't bring us joy, that steals the moments of our life, we're teaching our kids something. I want to teach my kids that we can be both strategic and free. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves just to have a place to live. You don't have to quit tomorrow. I am not saying that at all. But you do need to decide today that you're done with this, that you're done selling yourself, that you're done settling for small, that you're done sacrificing yourself, your own happiness, that your own joy, that you're done letting this fear be dressed up in a suit, pretending that it's some wisdom. Your bridge, it really starts with one decision. That decision of, am I worth the risk of finding out? That is it. Remember, my friends, that someday is an actual date. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this next video.